Hello, today we are going to talk about one of the very common questions that tends to show up in many chemistry exams, and that is to label the acid, base, conjugate acid, and conjugate base. You're given a reaction, and then you have to tell, which one is which. A very easy way that I would like to share for you to just solve this as quick as you can throughout the test, and you don't have to give it a lot of thought if you just remember these two things that I'm going to share with you. So we all know that this side is always going to be your reactants, and this side always going to be your products. Okay, your products are always going to be either a conjugate base or an acid. Just remember that. Okay, and your reactants on the other side, which is on this side, are just going to be your acid and base. Okay, if you remember these two things, you will be able to answer these type of question very easily on the exam. So the first thing you look at is you're gonna connect the lines, which two are gonna be related. Now, for example, we have HF here, so obviously this one lost a hydrogen, okay? So if it lost a hydrogen, then this has less hydrogen, so it is going to be a base. And remember, we already know that this is going to be conjugate no matter what on this side, and so is this right here, conjugate. Okay, so this one right here is a base because we lost that hydrogen over here. So because this is a base, then this guy is going to be the acid. Okay, now if you look at this one right here, okay, it looks like here it gained another hydrogen. So if it gains hydrogen, then it's gonna be an acid, right? The more hydrogens you have, the more acid. If you lose a hydrogen, like if we lose a hydrogen, then it's going to be a base. That is another way you can remember this. So in here we have a conjugate acid. And this, because this is going to be an acid, obviously this one is going to be a base. Okay, these are just ways of remembering. We tend to get very stressed when we're taking exams, and sometimes we just can't think right, and it's just really nice to remember these rules and be able to answer them very quickly and go through, go move on to your next question. So let's do more. Let's do more examples and see. Feel free to stop the video and see if this method will work for you. As we said, this is going to be your conjugates and conjugate, right? Okay, so CH and N, this is the one that's related to it. it seems like this gained a hydrogen. Okay, if it gained, we said if it gains right here, if it gains hydrogen, then it is an acid. So it is a conjugate acid. Okay, so if that's a conjugate acid, then this is this is going to be a base, the opposite of an acid. And the same thing goes here. If you don't feel like thinking about it, this has an extra hydrogen, this does not. So this is going to be your acid, and this is going to be your conjugate base because it lost this hydrogen. It's gone. It's not there anymore. Okay, so that's how you label these very quickly. It's just the method that I used all the time. Now again, we do the same thing here. We know that the conjugate and conjugate will go on the product side. Okay, so it seems like here this is a 2, this is a 3, so it lost a hydrogen. If it lost a hydrogen, what do we say? We say that it is a base. Okay, and this is because it has more hydrogen than this one, then it is going to be your acid. Okay, now let's talk about this guy, NH3, and then became NH4. So this has more hydrogen, so it is an acid, conjugate acid, and this is going to be your base, right? That turned into conjugate acid, conjugated. Now let's look at this one. Let's do more examples to get a feel of it. Okay, again, these are your conjugates here. I'm just gonna put this conjugate, okay? So from HCl to Cl, what do you think happened there? This lost a hydrogen, so that is gonna be your base, conjugate base. And this is going to be your acid because it has more hydrogen than this guy right here. All right, let's look at the next one. All right, this one is a bit tricky. Okay, same, these are all the same, but it looks like here this and right here, okay, there's more hydrogen here. So it is going to be your conjugate acid. This one is less hydrogen, so this is going to be your base. This is how you label these, right? Let's do the next one. Please feel free to stop and work on these on your own and see if you can get it. Again, the product side, okay, it's going to be your conjugates, then conjugate, okay. So we look at the hydrogens here. This one compared with this one, this gained hydrogens, okay, so it is an acid. This has less hydrogens, so it's going to be your base, okay. Let's do the next one. Now this one right here, let's see what happened compared with this. Okay, this right here, H2. So it seems like we lost a hydrogen, so this is less hydrogen. Therefore, it is a conjugate base. Okay, and this one is more hydrogen, so it is gonna be here acid. Just remember, conjugates are gonna be on this side, the right side, where your products are. If you could just remember that, you'll be able to know. And also remember, more hydrogens is acid. Less hydrogens is gonna be a base. And these two are opposite of each other. That's it. I hope you learned how to do this. And please look out for more videos. Thank you.